Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be a birthday message for Cancers. What's going on, Cancers? How are you guys doing? I hope that you're doing well. All right, my friends, happy birthday to you. Welcome to your season. Welcome to your yearly solar return. How's it going? How's everything? Hopefully it's going well. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're happy, you're safe, you're secure, and all that good stuff. Still a pandemic outside. Today is June 21st, so this is the first day of Cancer season, and here is your birthday message. And like I said, there still is a pandemic out there, so please be careful. Whatever you're doing to celebrate yourself or enjoy yourself during your birthday celebration, please do so safely. As much caution as you're willing to to participate in. Okay. Other than that, I hope you have an amazing day. If you're celebrating the entire season, if you're celebrating for a week, whatever you're choosing to do for yourself, I hope it is a fantastic time. Okay. Cancer, what are we doing here? Yeah, it's your birthday reading, yes. I've been doing these for like 2 years, and Leo, I started doing it with Leo because, I'm a Leo, so I'm selfish. So you're the last time that I'm going to do it in this style. I think I'm going to be revamping the birthday message, but regardless, what you're going to see here is a message that will carry you through your entire season. So from the 21st of June through the 21st of July, this is kind of the area in which these messages will pertain, but it is still very much a general reading. Tarot and anything esoteric is very fluid. So these messages, I'm giving them to you today, but they might, permeate out past your birthday month. We shall see, okay? Anything else? Everything's in the description box. If you want the timestamps, they're down there. If you want to get a personal reading with me, that information is down in the description box, as well as the link to the Instagram, okay? Going to keep it nice and short. Also, before we begin, I will be going live for you guys during your birthday season sometime in probably around the middle of July, so either the first or the second weekend in July probably I'll do it. So be on the lookout for that. If you want to come out and hang out with me, get a question answered via the tarot decks that I have, that'd be super, super cool if you want to join me, okay? So I'll announce that on the community tab. I'll announce it in future videos, so be on the lookout for when I actually pick the date and the time, okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. I want to see messages for Cancer during their birthday season, June 21st through July 21st. For Cancers during their birthday season, let's see some general messages for them at this time. And be sure to stick on towards the end because there will be an oracle card as well for you guys in case you were unaware, all right? Last one. Thank you. All right, let's see what we get for you guys, okay? For Cancer during their birthday season, please show me. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No bottom of the deck. We'll be doing an oracle message at the end of the reading. All right, friends, and let's go ahead and flip everything before we try and get it into order. A lot of people. My gosh. Lots and lots of people. All right, let's see what we've got. Kind of, sort of get it into some shape. There you go. That looks pretty okay. All right, Cancer, let's get into it. You have 6 different positions. They all have different meanings or importance in the reading, so we're just going to start here. It's sort of like this first position, you can consider it what you're coming into your birthday season already equipped with, what you're already aware of, what you're already experiencing. Another way to think of that is your past, right? And you come in with the Wheel of Fortune, okay? So things have been turning in your life. Cancer, things have been turning hopefully for the better, but, the Wheel of Fortune isn't always fortunate, right? If you think of the game show Wheel of Fortune or whatever it's called in international syndications, you can spin the wheel and come up with $1,000. You win the puzzle. Pat Sajak says you win the game, and that's great. There are 2 people who play that game out of 3 contestants that go home empty-handed or go home with consolation prizes, and maybe they're not so fortunate. I'm sure a few of us or many of us have seen episodes where someone goes home with $0, but in this day and age they throw them like $2,000 or something and say thanks for coming over. But in the game, you can spin the wheel. You could have accumulated thousands of dollars in your bank, but if you spin the wheel and it's a bad turn, you could end on bankrupt, right? So in your life, Cancer, or at least in your most recent past, you have taken, a spin of the wheel, or you've rolled the dice, and some of you have come up in lucky, fortunate circumstances, others of you less so. But regardless, in terms of tarot and away from game show analogies, it's what was due to you. It's what was due to the situation and the circumstances that you found yourself in, whether it's good or bad. Okay, in the eyes and in sort of the embrace of the universe, or the methodology of the universe, nothing is good, nothing is bad. It just is. It just exists. So I feel some of you are feeling optimistic and feeling as if luck has been on your side, feeling as if, the nature of things has been on your side. And others of you feel the exact opposite. You've had rotten luck. Things have not gone in your favor, and you're, for viable reasons or valid reasons, feeling pretty crummy about things, right? Wheel of Fortune, secondary major arcana for Sagittarius, so you could be dealing with a Sagittarius. It also sometimes is related to the fixed signs, so Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. You could be dealing with those signs as well, or none of them at all. It's a mixed bag, because, this is still a very general reading. So some of you Cancers are feeling really on top of your game. Another way that we talk about the wheel is that it spins, right? And based on your position in the wheel, oh, look, you're at the top. Haha, look at your glyph. The glyph for Cancer is actually at the top of this wheel. That's funny. Okay, so good for those who are at the top. But that's exactly what I was about to say. Look at the positioning of the Cancer glyph, the one that, kind of looks like a 69, right? At the top. You weren't always in that position. At some point, maybe you were where Libra is, here on the side, or down at the bottom where Virgo is, or over there where Aquarius is, where you're about to come up to the top. That's the thing about the Wheel of Fortune. No matter how you conceive of it, it's not static energy. It's not fixed energy or motionless, right? Everything is always progressing, or everything is always turning. Everything is always going through revolutions, right? Turns. So some of you, you're feeling like, I wish I knew where this was coming from, because it's going to be different for all of you. Some of you are feeling lucky in love, or feeling like you're at the top of your game in love. Others of you, it's top of your game in your career, in your finances. Others of you, it's like personal development. You've conquered some of your inner woundings, and you've been doing great improvement on your life. And others of you, it's the downside of everything that I just mentioned. So I think the bigger context here, as it's what you're used to, what you're coming into your birthday period with, I think that your concept, thank you, the concept of what's going on in your life is expanding. Or not the concept, I'm sorry. Your perspective is opening up. Because this is associated with Jupiter, right? Wheel of Fortune partnered with Sagittarius is associated with Jupiter, right? So there's this expansive view that you're opening up to, possibly, having a more macro view of your circumstances, as opposed to a micro and almost, narrow or overly subjective point of view. I don't want to say lessons, because I don't think this is about lessons, but some of you might be conceiving of it in that way, that the universe, God, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, is trying to teach you a lesson. You might have that perspective, and that might be expanding for you, or that might be something that you're challenging, or whatever. Regardless, though, Cancer, it feels, for the most part, like I said, in the eyes of the universe, in the eyes of whatever exists above our heads, wherever we came from, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, it's neither good or bad. It just is. So for those where you are dealing with situations where you're not pleased, you're not happy, things are difficult, things are a struggle for you, as unfair as it seems, in the greater picture of it, and what I'm feeling here is, it's not about fairness. It's really not. It's about what was due, or what was supposed to happen. Okay? That's not gonna please so many of you, but that's kind of how it's coming across. Because, another way that you can conceive of the Wheel of Fortune is just the passage of time. If you're in a rush all day, if you're bogged down with meetings and running errands, and you have to get to a store before it closes, and you hop out of your car and it's 7:50 at night and they close at 8, and you go inside, and then 5 minutes later you're being told, hey, we're about to close the store, you feel that is unfair. But that is exactly what was going to happen, given that all day you were busy and you couldn't get to the store any moment sooner. So what is the point in I'm just trying to ask this question very generally. What is the point of bemoaning the situation? You entered the store 10 minutes before it closed, trying to shop and get things done within 10 minutes. And 5 minutes before closing, they're like, hey, could you hurry up? Or, hey, we're about to close. Let's go ahead and head up to the register so that we can get so that, the people that are working in the store. And you see what I mean? There's something about, even if I think for some of you, this is an issue of, well, it was out of my hands. I couldn't help it. This is the only free time I had. This is all that I could muster. This is all that I could do. And it's kind of like, to the bigger picture, Cancer, that is regardless. That doesn't factor in. Or in fact, that is why we're in this situation to begin with. Because your day was so busy, because you were so overwhelmed with tasks, and you didn't have enough time to do your shopping before the store was about to close, this is exactly what you're going to get. This is exactly how the situation were to pan out. You can't do everything you wanted to do in those 10 minutes before closing, but there you are trying to do it anyway. Does that make sense? And I get the sense that some of you are feeling like you're being punished, like this is some punitive thing against you. And in the eyes of the universe, in the eyes of the bigger picture, what have you, no, that's exactly what was going to happen. And I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm trying to let you understand it's just the way it is. For those where you're on the downturn of the Wheel of Fortune, it's just the way it was supposed to be. And the same thing goes for the people who are on the upside or on the rising side of the wheel. That's exactly the time. The timing of this is just what it's supposed to be. Bottom line, okay? Wow, that's so interesting. All right, so moving to your second position, this is kind of what you're going to encounter during your birthday period, what you can expect, what kind of can be the focal point of the experience, aka your present moment, okay? And you have the King of Cups. Water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So this could be you, could be another water sign, could be any sign actually. It's still very much a general. And because it's a king, it doesn't have to be a male. But I feel emotional clarity here. Oh, and isn't that Jupiter or is that Saturn? I can never remember with this card. But regardless, emotional clarity is here. Feeling more prepared or better informed emotionally. Better prepared or more informed emotionally speaking. So if you're on the upswing, you're ready for it. If you're on the downturn, as much as you might be kicking yourself or bemoaning your situation, you're actually going to be prepared for it, or you're dealing with someone who can help you be prepared for it, okay? King of Cups energy, not overly communicative, not a big talker, but certainly big on clarity, on self-possession, right? Understanding at every turn what you feel, why you feel it, how you came to feel that way, what is affecting you, what is triggering you, what is making you happy, what is making you sad or depressed, what is making you feel lonely, what is making you feel excited about life. Like the King of Cups usually has a hand on that or has their finger on the pulse of why and where and who and what is affecting them emotionally, okay? I like that this is a great level of self-awareness. It's either you or someone else. There's just this intense, powerful level of self-awareness. And it might be a revelation because I'm still feeling some remnant over here from the expansiveness and the widening of a perspective coming from the Wheel of Fortune. So this is possibly like a self-discovery journey. Some of you are coming into some understanding of who you are and what you are and why you do the things you do, and you've never ever conceived of them before, but you are now entering a phase or a circumstance or a moment in your life where the clarity is just like raining down on you, without a doubt. this like eureka. It's like a eureka or an epiphany for many of you to come into this understanding of, well, again, going back to that analogy of like going into a business like 10 minutes before closing and trying to get something done, but that becomes, inconvenient for the staff, or, you feel rushed, and it's like, well, you rushed in 10 minutes before closing, so of course you feel rushed. But there might be some moment in there where you're just like, you know what? I kind of have to own this a little bit, if not partially, because how could I expect to do whatever you needed to get done? If you were grocery shopping, literally 10 minutes before the store closed, right? And you're trying to do your week's worth of shopping in 10 minutes, like, unless you live like some super duper bachelor life where you're eating only microwavable meals for every meal that you eat, I don't know that you could do that in 10 minutes. Like, this is not supermarket sweep. I really don't understand how, and people do this all the time, do they not? And some people do it and they expect, to be catered to. They expect that it's not an inconvenience to the people working, and they expect to, customer's always right. And as somebody who used to work retail, I'm like, that's a falseness. That's incorrect. In general, not saying specifically to this case or specifically to you, Cancer, but in general, that's but that's just me. That's just me personally. You don't have to agree or anything like that. But what I'm sensing here is in the moment of realizing that maybe you haven't been the best with your time management in the recent past, right? Time management has been a struggle for you. It's not the fault of the clerk. It's not the fault of the cashier. It's not the fault of the supervisor or the manager in that store. You have things that are going on in your life that has nothing to do with them. So there's this feeling of possibly for a few of you that maybe you're letting things that are not related to another situation and circumstance bleed into that situation and circumstance. So if you have a lot of stress going on at home, if you're working extra hours at work, if you're taking on way too many tasks for one person to accomplish in one day, and you're trying to pack into your waking hours 16, 15, 10 hours a day, whatever it is, 10 hours a day. You're sleeping a lot if you're only awake for 10 hours. But you know what I mean. If you're trying to squeeze everything into a tight schedule, what does that have to do with other people? Again, the bigger picture is the world and the neighborhoods and the places that you live in and interact with do not revolve around you. And I'm finding it interesting that I'm saying this in a Cancer reading, because I don't think Cancer is usually this egotistical, but that's kind of what this feels like. It's kind of like I'm realizing, or you would be realizing, I'm subjecting, or not subjecting, I'm projecting my issues into every situation, and I'm wanting to be satiated, or I'm wanting to be treated, maybe not I'm wanting to be treated, I think possibly taking for granted that people will be sympathetic towards me. Not to say that people are being apathetic or dismissive, but you see what I mean? The same sympathy that someone might want for, well, I've been rushed off my feet all day, I just need to get this done before you guys close your doors. Like, that's that plea for sympathy. But then, are you then not being sympathetic towards the people that are working there? They've been working all day, or they've been working a certain shift. You don't know what they have to go home to. This stuff happens all the time. Well, you're supposed to be open for another 10 minutes. And it's like, well, you're going to take like 20 minutes to shop, and somebody possibly has to catch a bus to go home, possibly has a babysitter to go relieve because they can't afford childcare, and like they work, you know what I mean? And then you get, we can see it all over social media and the news and all that stuff, where people end up arguing with each other because both parties are not being sympathetic towards the other. The King of Cups is a mature energy, would realize when they are not being sympathetic, when they are possibly part of the problem and not part of the solution. And that is a growing realization for you. It's an expanded or an expansive realization for you or someone else that you're dealing with, okay? This doesn't have to be you. I'm going to address it as it's you, because that's what it feels like for the most part. But this could be someone that you're dealing with. You could be the person who's like, honey, this could be your husband, your wife, your friend, a family member. And you're like, listen, don't rush and don't go over there. You could be telling this person, it's 10 minutes to close. Don't even go there. And they're picking up their car keys. I'm going to get this done. And you're like, oh, geez, just you could be observing someone go through this awakening process or this self-realization process. And that's what this feels like. The King of Cups, additionally, might do some apologizing. Might not want to, I'm going to be honest, might not want to, but certainly would recognize the value in apologies, the value in showing remorse or showing some appreciation for, the inconvenience that they may have created. And again, Cancer, it doesn't have to be you. I will address it as it is you because it's your reading, and it feels like many of you are in that energy anyway. Now, that's really for those who are on that downturn. It feels like things are a struggle, things are very adversarial, or there's a lot of friction in your life. If you're on the top side of the wheel, right? You're in that top position, that ascended position. I still feel like you're still appreciative of where you've come from and everything that you've experienced, and you're realizing your impact in the scenario, right? So in some cases, this could manifest or show up in a way of turning over a new leaf, right? So where you were, overstressing yourself, overburdening yourself, making it hard for you to get things done within a certain time period, you realize now, oh, I create the stress myself, therefore I won't do it anymore, right? It's like you're holding yourself accountable. The cancers that are coming up on the top side of the wheel, you're holding yourself accountable. More than likely because you were in that downturn more recently than not, right? More recently than not, you've seen some things, you've learned some things, you've experienced some things that have kind of awakened you to what you do and how you perform in the world and how you affect other people. So I like this. This is a progression. It's very mature. In both regards, I feel like there's a maturity that is budding, that is growing, that is progressing here for you. Now, your third position, if you haven't guessed, is sort of like your future card. It's what you couldn't expect outside of or past your birthday season. It's what's upcoming for you that you can kind of prepare yourself for. Again, the King of Cups is kind of what you're going to be doing in your present moment. It's the focal point of what's going to happen soonish. And then this is going to be the focal point or possibly even the outcome of that focus. And what do we have? We have the Seven of Pentacles. So evaluation. That works for those where in the downturn of the Wheel of Fortune and, you're finding possibly after a little bit of time, hey, I'm not really doing myself any favors by overbooking myself, overextending myself, burdening myself, stressing myself out. You might take yourself or you might lead yourself into a position of evaluating. Well, how can I go about changing my schedule? How can I go about, prioritizing and deprioritizing certain things, certain errands, certain tasks in my life? You might delegate some things, but ultimately, Cancer, when we get to the Seven of Pentacles, we're looking for the ripest fruit, or we're looking for the best time to harvest the fruit of the tree or the bush or whatever it is, right? And interesting, in this depiction, because sometimes it's not like that, but in this depiction, the basket is empty. So this is like very new for you, right? And those are like sheep in the background, right? Or isn't a lamb a baby sheep? I'm terrible with like nature and shit. Anyway, so I'm getting like a lot of newness, like for the first time. Like for some of you, you're doing something for the first time, or this is the first time you've sat in a long time and evaluated yourself, evaluated your circumstances. In some cases, since this is Pentacles, you're actually evaluating your money. You're actually evaluating the things that hold value and worth in your life. If it's not money, you'd be evaluating your job. If it's not your job, you're evaluating where you live. If it's not that, you evaluate your health and your wellness, or all of that, right? In some cases, you might be evaluating relationships. You might be evaluating your impact or the impact those relationships have on you or whatever it is. And it's all with the mindset of what will benefit me, right? I mean, most cases when we're evaluating something, we're not saying, hey, how's this going to hurt me? And I want to do the thing that's going to hurt me the most. No, most cases we're evaluating things and we're saying which option or what path or what choice could I make here that's going to benefit me the most, the one that doesn't hurt me, the one that doesn't harm me, the one that doesn't act as a detriment to my life, right? So that's what I feel is going on across the board, in either in specific areas or overall in your life. Yeah, what can I do going forward that's going to continue to benefit me or benefit me for the first time? Because again, there's a bunch of sheep or lamb in the background and the basket that woman holds is empty. So this could be the first time that some of you make certain declarations in your life. This could be the first time that you prioritize yourself above others, or this could be the first time that you do anything for yourself. This could be a first time investment, or the first time that you've taken a loan, since again we're talking about pentacles. It could be the first time that you live alone, again talking about your physical resources and the things that matter to you based on tangible items or tangible things in this world. So you could be moving out of a situation where you were before, with friends, with family, lovers, what have you. And this could be, I'm not sensing like a move towards singlehood per se, but I am sensing Cancer is coming out of themselves. Like maturation is the name of the game here for most of you. There's a maturing going on. There's again, this idea of thinking about yourself, realizing what you need to do in order to sustain yourself, and holding yourself accountable, taking fault where fault needs to be taken. That's something I think not specific to Cancers. Everybody needs to do. Everybody at some point needs to do that. And it's not a one-time shot. You're going to have to do that several times throughout your life, because I think, we're living a subjective experience on Earth, right? Even though we're, in my opinion, all sourced from one central place. We all come from one central, I'm going to be facetious. We all come from one central warehouse, right? But we all branch off and we go to different areas throughout the world, right? So I hope you get what I'm saying. Anyway, even though we're all connected, we still share individual subjective experiences. And it's so easy to forget that we are common, that we are connected to one another. And I feel like that's sort of what's going on here, is like admitting or knowing that your position is subjective, but also trying to remain aware of an objective point of view, or a point of view that connects you with other people, realizing the impact not only that people have towards you, because again, going back to that scenario of late night shopping, it's like you're aware of all the things that you've taken in throughout the day. I've taken so many meetings. I had other errands to run. I had an issue with my car that had to be taken care of. I wasn't going to be able to get out here until I got my tires replaced, whatever. It's like subjectively, I'm realizing the impact that all of that stuff has had on my day. But then going into the store, just before it closes, you then begin to realize, oh, I'm also impacting other people by being here at this moment, by insisting on getting what I need to get done. It's going to impact these other people. How that's a circle, how that's a revolution, how that is an exchange, a constant rotation of energy. Nobody affects things in a not binary, but in a linear way. Energy doesn't just travel one way and that's it. It travels back and forth. So I think that's what's going on here. And that Seven of Pentacles is an evaluation of, okay, how do I prioritize the things that I need to, and still maintain what I have to do, and not really screw too much with my bottom line, my independence. Because I do feel for some of you, this is about independence some type of way. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe you've been trying your best to make a go of things independently, and maybe you're realizing it's too much to bear for yourself, and so you might need the help of other people. Okay, yes, okay, got it. So that makes sense. I hope this is making sense to you guys. You guys are having a very interesting reading. Your fourth position, you can consider this kind of sort of like the first thing that's coming to you that is meant to hopefully benefit you, or provide you with some type of guidance, assistance, aka a gift, right? You have the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They don't have to be. This could be someone external to you. It could be your own energy. Does not have to be central on a female or a fire sign, okay? But the Queen of Wands, in terms of everything that I just mentioned, where it's helpful, it's meant to be a gift, right? Some of you could be meeting a person and they could be a gift to you, sent by the universe, sent by God, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, yeah? But regardless of where and when you met this person or who they are specifically to you, I get that there's like a fierce determination here. And it still could just be your own energy. It's going to be different for all of you. But this is someone who's fiercely determined. They could be competitive. They could be spunky or energetic and all that good stuff. I feel like you know them, but you don't know them, or you know them and you want to get to know them better, or you know them and it's strictly platonic, or it's strictly professional, or it's strictly like it's within the bounds of a certain, arena. Like this is someone who's a friend of yours, but specifically at work. Like you don't know this person outside of that context of working with them, right? I think if this is someone external to you, Cancer, you admire them, you think that they're pretty funny or they're pretty tenacious, and you kind of marvel at their ability to get shit done. The Queen of Wands is a doer, is not a queen that usually, sits by and waits for things, because queens for the most part are meant to be receptive in tarot, or at least can be perceived as receptive. And I think that the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords, as they would be, being that their elements are masculine, are more likely to take action than, say, the Queen of Pentacles or the Queen of Cups. But that's kind of what I think you are looking at them and kind of going, wow, that's really cool. Or, wow, I want to take a page out of that person's book, because there's still accountability here. We had the accountability with you, with the King of Cups, which is admirable. Anybody who holds accountability for themselves is admirable to me. And I try to do that as much as I can in my life. And I think I do a pretty good job, but it's not easy. It's not easy to hold yourself accountable and to admit fault. And I feel that the King of Cups is doing that, maybe a little begrudgingly, maybe a little tentatively. And I think the Queen of Wands does it and, is possibly more brazen about it, or at least more like, this is somebody who, okay, I'm going to be honest. Not, I'm always honest, but it's like somebody who's like, oh yeah, I'm an asshole. Like they admit it. Like they know they have this tendency, if they're hard-edged, if they're kind of snarky, if they're kind of short-tempered, like they'll say, oh, I'm an asshole, I'm a bitch. And they say it. And they own that. They might take a little bit of pride in it, if I'm honest, being that that's the Queen of Wands. They might be prideful in that those are aspects of their personality that can be, turn-offs to other people, but they're not going to say that they're not. They're not going to lie about it, is essentially what that feels like. I'm not going to lie and say that I'm a Queen of Wands and I'm made of sugar and spice and everything nice. No, I'm made of razor blades and buzz saws, okay? I'm very tough. So this person, if they have aspects of them that are not necessarily quote unquote desirable, they own that and they're accountable to it. So this is somebody who, if they step on your toes, they might not apologize, metaphorically speaking. They might step on your toes. They're not going to apologize for doing that, but they will acknowledge, oh yeah, I can absolutely rub people the wrong way. And there's some power in that. It might make, and like I said, they admit it. I'm an a-hole. I'm an a-hole. Doesn't mean that they're excused. Just because you say that doesn't mean people give you a pass. Oh, you admit that you're an a-hole? Okay, that's fine. Everything you do is okay. No. It's more of like it's like, to this person, that's how they explain themselves. Or that's the crux of their personality. I am this, therefore don't expect XYZ from me. Or I am this, and that explains why I'm rubbing you the wrong way. So, I'm not exactly sure what your relationship to this person is. They could be a family member, they could be a coworker, a boss, or something like that. It could be an aspect of your own personality. How this is a gift to you, though, I think is sort of, like, for me, it feels like this, it's like self-possession. It's autonomy. It's knowing thyself. There's so much power when you know yourself, right? And I think that being that it started with this Wheel of Fortune, and things for some of you Cancers are kind of up in the air, or not up in the air, but in some type of transition. You're either going into a downturn, or you're coming up out of, or you're coming up into an ascension. There's, when we have, and the other thing with the Wheel of Fortune is like gateways, like certain pivotal moments in life. And I think that's what's going on here. You're at a pivotal moment in your life, and some of you are kind of reshaping or retweaking or retooling how you view yourself or how you're showing up in this world. And this person might be an example to you, or they might be someone that you're having adversarial friction with. This could be someone that you actually don't get along with, and them kind of quote unquote excusing themselves with this, well, I'm an a-hole and I'm a bitch, so just deal with it. Like, some of them might have that attitude of, well, just deal with it because there's nothing I can do to change it. Or that's an aspect of yourself that you're trying to get away from. It's going to go in so many different ways for you guys. But what I like about the Queen of Wands is that they're, for all intents and purposes, a straight shooter. Even if they're admitting some really nasty things about themselves, even if they're owning some very nasty aspects of themselves and taking pride in that, it's still better than, for me, it feels like it's better that this person is honest and upfront about their faults than if they try to downplay them or water them down in some type of way, or totally excuse them away. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, there's something about this person where I could get that they ruffle people's feathers, and I can get that there are aspects of their personality that are not welcome, that are not easily digestible. But at least it's sort of, it's as I believe some British people say, it says it on the tin. It does what it says on the tin, or on the package. There's no smoke and mirrors here. This is very straightforward. Even if it's difficult, even if it's not pleasing, even if it's, arrogant or egotistical or whatever, at least you know where this person stands. And going back to here, you might be in deep evaluation about who this person is to you, why they're in your life, what's their purpose, what's their function in the macro sense, in the bigger picture. Why am I connected with this person? Or why do I behave these ways sometimes? If it's your own energy, okay? So the awareness coming from the King of Cups, as well as the Queen, because she's very self-aware as well. But both are self-aware, or aware of how they fit into the picture overall. They both have this pulled back view. If I'm honest, yeah, they have a pulled back view. They're able to see sort of different sides of the scenario and how they relate in the bigger picture. Interesting. Fifth position, same thing, just in the fifth position as the Queen of Wands. It's basically a gift. It's basically what's here to help you and sort of guide you through this birthday period. It can be good, it can be bad, that's up for your interpretation, but it is ultimately a gift, and it is the Page of Pentacles. So Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. As a page, it could be a child. I'm not exactly sure of that yet. Possibly, because we've got a king. They're off suited, but we do have a king and a queen, right? And a king and a queen usually speaks to some type of pair. And if we're talking about a romantic pairing or some type of familial pair, we could be talking about aspects between parents and children. Just saying. It doesn't have to be that, but it's possible. So, Page of Pentacles. Patience. This page, if not a person who is very patient, if not a person that is very calm and collected, that is sort of an aspect in this dynamic that is a benefit. Or at least should be treated as a benefit, treated with some type of reverence, because you do have dynamic energies here. Like I said, the wheel is not static. The Queen of Wands is not a static energy. The Cups energy, in terms of water element, it moves a bit. But the Pentacles energies are usually a holding pattern, or represent some type of slowed down energy. And I think that is beneficial because, Cancer, like all the water signs, I feel like you guys have bursts of energy, or you have bursts of inspiration, or you have moments of life is good, and I just want to go out there and get involved in everything, and really be on this, path of go, 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 go. But water signs also have a lot of reclusivity. They have a lot of deep internal spaces that causes them, or is best suited for a person or a mode or a time in life where things are more stagnant than not. And I think that's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing part of you is interested in making new moves, again, evaluating and then acting, as I feel the Queen of Wands is related to, after a period of time of studying something, boom, then go into taking action or making declarative statements, right? The Page of Pentacles comes after that, or at least in partnership with that, and it's a slower energy. It's, again, this evaluation thing going on again. So what I'm sensing, if we were to talk about this as being about partnerships or some type of interactive, interconnected relationships, right? Where maybe we are talking about a pair of adults, a king and a queen, and a child. The king and the queen are trying to negotiate, trying to find a balance, trying to find a way to move forward, possibly independently, despite having a child who's dependent, right? So it's like we have to make moves for ourselves individually. Assuming like this was like a co-parenting thing, or like a separated thing, or people that are together but they're having, this point of friction. Maybe you're not going to break up, or maybe this isn't about a breakup, and it's not going to be for several people. And I'm only using this as an example anyway. But let's say these are two people who are trying to make the best out of a difficult situation, and they want to act in their own behest or act in their own benefit, but they also have someone who's dependent on them. And because of this person who's dependent on them, Cancer, it causes both sides to become more sympathetic towards the other. Again, going back to that analogy of shopping in the grocery store 10 minutes before closing. I need these things done. I need to get all my groceries done within 10 minutes. But then at some later point, or maybe even in the moment, realizing, oh, you know what? Me having this imperative in my life of needing groceries, 10 minutes before closing, impacts and affects someone else. And you become sympathetic towards the people you're affecting, even though you felt within your right subjectively that you could go and do this, or that this had to be done, and this was the only time you had to do it, so you acted on that impulse, right? So I sense that this Page of Pentacles aids in rebalancing the focus, is an inspiration or a reason to slow it down a little bit, or to reevaluate a couple of things. Not all things, but a few things, to reevaluate a couple of things. And the most rambunctious character thus far is this Queen of Wands. Again, could be you, could be someone else. And I feel like the Queen of Wands is being tempered by this Page of Wands person or energy. Okay? Page of Wands can be a student as well. So this could be issues surrounding, because there's pentacles here. There is this element of the Wheel of Fortune, and like I told you about the game show, that's all about money, right? So this could be wanting to make swift moves in a career, or swift changes, or what have you regarding finances, but there's something about taking a little bit longer before actually changing too much. It's this is very interesting because, number one, it's been coming up energetically for several readings that I've done on YouTube and in private. But then also just, what we're dealing with right now. We just entered a Mercury retrograde. I'm pretty sure Venus retrograde is still going until July or August. I could be wrong about that. I don't strictly remember. And I think both Jupiter and Saturn are both still in retrograde as well. So a lot of, when we talk about retrograde, we talk about things that are not actually moving forward, like how this would be moving forward. It's like, it's still moving forward, but it's like so slowly, but it's still turning at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's slow progress. And the retrograde aspect is that reevaluation or that double checking, reconsidering one or two times before we actually move forward, which makes sense because what's coming at the top is a card of progression, right? So your sixth position, your final position here on your, tarot card cake that I devised like 2 years ago, you've got the Six of Wands. So a card of progress, a card of moving on, moving forward, and hopefully towards something victorious. Now, what comes at the top of a cake, whether it's made of tarot cards or actual delicious pastry, is a candle. And what we do with candles, we blow them out and we make a wish. So what is your wish, Cancer? Your wish is for success. Your wish is to be happier, to be more comfortable, to be more victorious in the situation, or victorious in your life, period. You might be wanting congratulations. This can be a card of like, hey, I did a good thing. You should be applauding me, or, being recognized for doing a good thing. Let's say it that way. That might be here for some of you. And where I'm really feeling this is a personal victory, a personal accomplishment that might go unnoticed. I gotta note that. You might be aiming for people to notice the ways in which you've changed, the ways in which you've grown, the ways in which you have transcended, but they might go unnoticed. And for some of you, that's a little bit of a bummer. Like, you kind of really want people to say, hey, Cancer, I noticed how you've done X, Y, Z in your life, how you've gotten over this adversity, and I want to acknowledge that I admire what you've gone through. A lot of people are going to miss it because, you're a Cancer, you're a water sign, and if I'm honest, the water signs, in my experience with water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, when you guys go through changes, you recognize the change well before anybody else. And that's because you're not usually sharing the deep inner workings of what's going on with you. Like, the true nugget of whatever the hell this is deeper than going to the grocery store 10 minutes before it closes. I just used that as an arbitrary example. It's deeper than, trying to work things out with a partner in a co-parenting situation, or trying to make things work out with a contentious coworker or boss or whatever it is, right? It's deeper than anything I've said. I'm just at the tip of the iceberg with whatever the hell this is, right? And so your wish to be not only successful, but also maybe congratulated or appreciated in some type of way is probably going to go over people's heads. They're probably not going to recognize how hard this has been for you, or they wouldn't recognize the detail of it, the nooks and the crannies of this, the nuance of this. Like, I feel it's there, but I can't pinpoint it myself, and I'm the one here with the tarot deck. I'm the one tapping into your energy, and I don't know the specifics of it. But you do. And I think what you're wanting is to triumph over it. I feel that for most of you, you will. Whether you're on the upside of the wheel or you're on the downside of the wheel, whatever you're dealing with or have dealt with, it will put you on a better path going forward. Or you will see yourself evolve in some type of way or progress in some type of way for the positive, for the most part. But the recognition of how and when and how hard it was, or the setbacks that you struggled with, people aren't going to recognize that. Maybe, if this is your energy, going back here to the Queen of Wands, because the Six of Wands does bleed into the Queen of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. It might go unnoticed because you might, sort of get into a phase in your life or a standpoint in your life, Cancer, where you're so confident and you're so aware of yourself, again, self-awareness, that people are like, oh, Cancer doesn't need my congratulations. They already are feeling themselves. They're clapping for themselves. Does that make sense? So I get in some of your cases, you'll be a little bit disappointed, a little bit salty if people don't give you praise, or you're not recognized for all that you've accomplished or all that you've kind of triumphed over. I get it. Who doesn't like a little ego stroking? I get it. But I think that's like the biggest downside of that Six of Wands. In general, I feel progression. I feel you're going to be better in the long run. It might take a while to get there. Seven of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. It might take a while to get there, but eventually we all have, a good period in our lives. And then, the wheel turns and then we get into a not so good period. And then we come out of that not so good period and we go towards a good period. That's the cycles of life. That's natural, okay? So let's get you an oracle card, shall we? Oracle card for Cancer during their birthday period. Please show me. Which deck? Oh, okay. Vintage Wisdom Oracle. I can't remember if you guys had this for your mid-June reading. I can't remember what deck. And I just did it earlier this week, but I can't remember a damn thing. Don't get old, kids. Your memory goes. All right, let's see. An oracle card for Cancer during their birthday period. Oracle message for Cancer during their birthday period, please. June 21st through July 21st. And again, time is fluid, so this might, I'm saying all this stuff and it might not play out for you until the fall or winter. Who knows? Or late summer. Who knows? So, be open-minded with the timing of this, okay? Oracle message for Cancer at this time during their birthday period. June 21st through July 22nd. Or excuse me, July 21st. Alright, let's go with that, right? Yeah, good. Alright, let's see. One card for Cancer, please. One oracle card for Cancer, please show me or stop me. Oh my gosh. Tight-lipped? Come on, Cancer, what do we need from you? What's the message? Show me or stop me. Oracle message, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's put that down. What do we have? Guardian Angel. And this book is alphabetic, no numbers, so I gotta sit here and remember my ABCs. Alright, Guardian Angel. Here we go. Guardian Angel. A gypsy peasant girl carries a basket while strolling along a woodland path. Daylight is fast diminishing, and heavy mist shrouds the landscape beyond. She pauses as if in a moment of quiet recognition. Perhaps she can sense the presence of her guardian angel above. Her guardian angel holds pink carnations, which are associated with the tenderness of motherly love. They may be destined as a symbolic offering to be placed in the empty basket below. The word angel derives from the Greek word angelus, or angelus, I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce that, meaning messenger. As God's emissaries, angels are vehicles of unconditional love and service to humanity. In particular, guardian angels are thought to guide and protect the onward journey of the soul during its sojourn toward God. Guardian angels can take a myriad of forms, which reflect the consciousness of the individual at any given moment. For some, the vision of their angel, whether seen, heard, or felt, remains fixed, but others, it changes. The presence of this card indicates your need for reassurance, direction, or protection, and invites you to enter the silence and connect with your guardian angel. Raise the vibration of your request by being mindful of the quality of your thoughts and questions, as this in turn affects the response you will be given. Be patient and listen carefully, as our angels often communicate in unexpected ways, but always in accordance with the perfection of divine timing. Interesting. Okay, so Remember what it was saying about being in a garden and, having an empty basket. And what do we have down here? This evaluation period. And what did I talk to you earlier about? Expanded perspectives, or bigger macro perspectives, and how I was talking at the beginning of the reading of how the universe is like very impartial. Nothing is positive, nothing is negative. What I'm sensing, Cancer, is like in some of your cases, the bigger perspective, and opening up to guardianship, opening up to some type of universal guidance would be helpful to you. But as I feel your mundane experience is going to be focused is on self-development and growth, right? You might need assistance along the way. You might be reluctant to asking for it, or you might simply be resistant to it. But you could be helped out in some of your cases by opening yourself up to guidance. Now, that can come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, like the card was saying. Some people perceive of their guardian angels as one static image or way in which the guardians could communicate, and others it's going to be varied and it's going to switch up. For me, I'm one of the ones where it switches up. My guardians change all the time. Like, for a while, I was dealing with one that was kind of like a mobster, like gangster, like, yeah, like one of those types. And that guardian isn't here right now. And, someone else is in their place. But regardless, that is your message, Cancer, for your birthday period. If you liked it, the like button is down below. If you want to share how this resonated, you can leave a comment down below. If you want to share this video with other people in your life to kind of express something that's going on with them or with you, or you think they might enjoy the message, feel free to share. And of course, my friends, if you haven't subscribed and you might think you want to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. What's the big deal? For this particular reading, Cancer, I'll see you in a year, in June 2021. But for other readings, your July message, that'll be coming up within about a week or so. Your live reading for your birthday season will take place again sometime in the middle of July, as well as your mid-July messages. So you got a lot of stuff to look forward to. I've already done your June message and your mid-June, so you can check for those in your playlist on my channel. If you do want a personal reading, again, that information is down below in the description box, okay? Cancer, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care.